Okay, Ben, you ready to do this thing?
Oh yeah, born ready. Still crazy though that we're about to host Bronco Day. I mean, after this, we'll be getting calls from all the big shows.
You might be getting a little bit over your head there. I mean, this is pretty cool, but...
I'm over my head. Emma, this is the event of the year. We're gonna be stars.
Okay, you might be right. Today's show, Good Morning America, Daily Show correspondent.
Oh.
Here we come.
Easy money.
Oh, wait. What was that? Oh, we're already rolling? Live from Boise State University, it's Bronco Day!
Hello everyone and welcome to Bronco Day 2021. I'm Ben Luca, a senior from Sacramento, California, studying film and television.
And I'm Emma Richardson from right here in the Treasure Valley. I graduated from Eagle High School in 2017. Go Mustangs. And I'm currently a senior studying media arts. Now, of course, we would rather host you all on campus for a full day of exploring, but we really have honestly had a blast creating this year's virtual Bronco Day.
The Bronco Day Committee partnered with our team at University Television Productions to bring you live alumni interviews, student panels, and more straight to you. We want you all to know that we're following COVID protocols throughout the making of today's broadcast. In an effort to de-densify and keep proper distance, we will be broadcasting from 2 different studios and a handful of remote locations on our lovely campus.
Over the next 2 hours, we're going to be bringing the blue to you. For those looking to join Bronco Nation in the fall, we will be chatting with representatives from housing, orientation, and advising to ensure that you have all the information you need to complete your next steps in enrollment. We will also be showcasing the Boise State student experience by speaking with students involved in clubs, organizations, and sorority and fraternity life.
And since you can't actually tour campus today, we have a remote team that you can send out on Choose Your Own Adventure tour stops. Be sure to keep your phone close by, as throughout the program, we will have 3 opportunities to vote on what you want to see. Jenna and Ryan?
That's right, Ben and Emma. I'm Jenna Vitamonte, and I'm a sophomore here at Boise State, studying media production with a certificate in sports information and culture.
And I'm Ryan Seeker, and I'm a senior here at Boise State, also studying media production and pursuing a certificate in sports information and culture. Boise native, and we are here live on campus with cameraman Rylan Dawson. Rylan, my man.
What's up?
What are you looking forward to most here on Bronco Day, buddy?
Honestly, the Greek life panel.
All right. Well, you gotta go back to the camera.
Okay, well, so we're live and we're ready to go. So go ahead and vote for your area or building of choice, and we'll be there.
So exciting, Jenna and Ryan. And beyond today's programming, you will be able to dive deeper into your academic areas of interest by exploring the Bronco Day website. This upcoming week, each of our academic colleges will be hosting virtual sessions where you can meet staff and faculty, learn more about specific degrees, and ask whatever other questions you may have.
All right, Emma, what do you think? Are we ready to kick it to our first guest?
Let's get into it. Of course, there's only one guest who can launch us in style. One of our favorite people on campus, our fearless leader, Boise State University President, Dr. Marlene Tromp. Over to you, Dr. Tromp.
Thank you, Emma and Ben. You're doing a great job, and I think you're spot on. We'll definitely see you hosting the news soon. I am so excited to welcome all of you future Broncos and Bronco families to one of our favorite days of the year. Boise State is so special. We have an incredible community where people connect with each other. We have academic programs that are unsurpassed. And we have research opportunities that will give you the chance to learn how to be leaders and innovators. Stanford just named 13 research faculty from Boise State in the top 2% of research faculty in the world. Boise State is exceptionally student-focused, which means we're looking out for you and building our programs around what will help you be successful. And we've been consistently named one of the most innovative universities in the country. We are blazing trails in Idaho and all around the world. This innovation has been so crucial in the last year, we've even created events like this. As Ben and Emma have already mentioned, Housing and Dining will be here to tell you what to expect on campus. We have 2 great alumni interviews coming up. You'll hear from current students, student organizations, fraternity and sorority representatives. We'll speak with parents and families about life on campus and beyond. And you'll learn much more about all our colleges through one-on-one interviews with professors and students, as well as some personal stories with fantastic insights into the student experience and how to take advantage of all that Boise State has to offer. We might even have some special surprise guests lined up. You're invited to explore digitally all that the institution has to offer. Know that we will do all that we can to make a home here for you. It's a place where you can build lifelong friendships, a place for you to challenge yourself academically and critically, a place where you can lay the foundation of a bright and successful future. Have a great Bronco Day. Thank you for being with us virtually. I hope we can see you on campus soon. So now, let's head back to the studio for our first Choose Your Own Adventure tour stop. Take it away, Emma and Ben.
Thank you, Dr. Trump, for starting us off and reminding everyone of the amazing things happening on campus.
For sure, Ben. I cannot believe that I'm graduating in a little over a month and I'm still doing cool things like helping host Bronco Day. It's insane.
Couldn't agree more. But enough about us. I hear we already have our first adventure to choose from. All right, everybody, you know what that means. It's time to vote. Jen and Ryan are ready to go. Emma, what are our options?
All right, for our first stop, you can choose between the Micron Business and Economics Building for the Center or the Center of Visual Arts. Both are located on the west side of campus and are incredible buildings for all students to enjoy. What do you all think? Throw your votes in the chat, and our team will tally up the results.
Tough choice. It's the age-old question, business or pleasure. Personally, not much of a business guy, but holy cow, do they got a nice building over there. Visual arts building is stunning too, but that's sort of expected. Yeah, I'm not sure. Very interested to see what you guys think, though.
Ben, guess what?
Oh, I'm getting it too.
Buster Bronco is on his way to hand deliver the results.
Sweet.
Okay, everyone, be sure to cast your vote. Jenna and Ryan are standing by just waiting for the results. Speaking of results, I hear Buster may be close.
He's not really stopping to take a selfie at the bee, is he? Oh, Buster.
Oh, Buster.
Always chasing the clout.
Polls for the first Choose Your Own Adventure Tour location will be closing in about 5 seconds, and results will be coming in hot.
If I was a gambling man, I'd bet the house on the Micron Business and Economics building. It just rolls off the tongue.
I'll take that bet. It's so going to be the Center for Visual Arts.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Get ready to pay up because Buster has officially entered the building.
where he at, though?
Oh, my
Buster!
God. Buster, Bronco, holy
Yay!
moly.
Thank you so much. Elbow bump.
Oh, can I get one, too? Thank you. Yes, sir.
Ben,
Never
will you
washing
please
that
do
again.
the honors of opening
Oh,
the
yes.
briefcase for me?
This way. Oy. Look at that. You want to pull it open?
I'm scared. All right, here we go. Drum roll, please. And it looks like I lost. We're going to the Micron Business
Let's go.
Building.
Thank you, guys.
Out to Jenna and Ryan live.
Business building!
And we're here live with our student recruitment specialist, Hannah Leese, and she'll be kind of our tour guide today while we take you around campus. So Hannah, how can students get hands-on learning here in the business building?
Totally. There's tons of ways to get hands-on learning. We have our Jackson Commons here, which is our stock room, and students can invest real money to get capital back, and they can use all the money into scholarships. We also have a career center specifically for our business students where they can get career advising for that.
Awesome.
That's so awesome, yeah.
Okay, Hannah, if I'm not a business major, would I still find myself in this building at any point?
Totally. We have amazing study spaces here and study rooms that any student can use. You can come in and use the study rooms that have whiteboards on all the walls as well as projectors in them to practice for anything you might need.
Alrighty, well that's the end of tour stop number 1. We'll catch you next time on tour stop number 2 for Choose Your Own Adventure. Back to you, Ben, in the 360 studio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm in the 360 studio. Whew, let me catch my breath real quick. With admissions counselor and 2017 Boise State alum, Austin Moore. Austin, when you were a student, did you live on campus?
Thanks for having me, Ben. And I sure did. Taylor B204 was where it was at.
Ah, yes, I always heard great things about Taylor Hall. Personally, I was always jealous of the kids who lived in Sawtooth in the Honors College. I mean, talk about prime real estate.
Oh yeah, fantastic location. Too bad I graduated before it was even built.
Whoa, you're so old.
I think, Ben, that is the first time I've ever heard that, and I'll take it. Thank you very much. On that note, I'd like to welcome Adam Apperson to chat about housing and residence life at Boise State. Head on up, Adam.
Hey, Austin.
Awesome. Well, if you just want to do a quick intro, and then we'll hop into a couple questions.
You bet. I'm Adam Apperson. I'm the Associate Director of Housing Operations here at Boise State. I work with a big team of people. There's about 200 of us who work here on campus 365 days a year to provide safe, clean, welcoming housing to a group of about 3,000 people who go to sleep and wake up on our campus throughout the academic year.
That is awesome. And as somebody who lived on campus, thank you guys for your work. It really made that first year special.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Kind of jumping into the first question, just with a lot of prospective students and maybe some people that don't know about Boise State, is it required for students to live on campus?
So it's not required, Austin. It's definitely encouraged. If you do choose to live off campus, nothing wrong with that. You're a Bronco. You're going to have a great experience here at Boise State. But we definitely have a lot of benefits that we love to talk about in housing about what it's like to live on campus. The biggest of which is just the connectedness to campus. So students develop relationships not just with each other, but with their faculty and staff. We even have a live-in faculty and faculty in residence as parts of our living learning communities. If you don't know what those are, make sure to give them a Google. And so we just hear time and time again from students that they're embedded right in the heart of the campus, and it definitely feels that way.
Awesome. And with that, with a lot of our attendance in today being current seniors looking to maybe come to Boise State for the fall.
You bet.
with the housing application opening up on March 15th, can students still apply if they're making that decision?
Yeah, so the application did open on March 15th, but we still encourage you to apply. Demand is strong, so definitely get in there as soon as you can. You can do that at boisestate.edu/housing. The application only takes about 10 minutes or so to complete. We just want to know your preference in hall. Do you want to live in an LLC? Do you want to be a part of RHA? And then you'll pay a $50 application fee and a $100 down payment that gets automatically applied towards your housing fees this fall.
Awesome. And then another question for you. Do you mind just kind of laying out what the different options we have on campus for first-year students, or can you live on all 4 years?
Sure, absolutely. We have sophomore to above housing as well. The residence halls vary a lot in their look and feel, so we definitely encourage you to read about them on our website. It's hard to recommend just one hall for one person without getting to know you personally a little bit better. But yeah, we have a wide range of options, and you definitely want to check them out on our website.
Awesome. And then my last question, with students making that decision, is that $100 down payment refundable at any point?
It is until June 15th, and then you do forfeit that if you cancel past that point, but up until then you can cancel without penalty.
Perfect. So if they might as well do it. If you're still making that decision, worst case, you just cancel, get that $100 back.
Absolutely. And if you're not sure about any of our dates, please call us or email us. Like I said, we're a big group of people, and all we do is think about helping you guys out. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you being here, Adam. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Yeah,
I'm going to
thank you.
Ben back up on stage with me.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, Austin, there truly isn't a bad place to live on campus. We'll be back with a representative from dining after a word from our sponsor, us. See you on the other side.
Hi, my name is Kayla Mcdonough and I'm from Rigby, Idaho. I'm majoring in political science and this is my senior year and I'll be graduating in May.
And I'm Lori Husiger. I'm a professor in political science and the program lead for political science. I teach all the fun classes, civil liberties, women in the law, etc. Yeah, Carla's amazing. She has come from a first gen to being accepted at more than one PhD program. We're delighted with her. She took advantage of every opportunity, reached out to faculty, built a nice community, and that's what we love to see, because we love our majors. We love to see them from the beginning when we go to these Bronco days or we go to these events in that first semester, all the way through the political science graduation.
All the political science faculty that had interacted to previously are very supportive and really try to understand your career goals and try to make them realities through supporting students. And from that, I've kept getting emails from Dr. Castellano and Dr. Bellinger to take advantage of all these opportunities that really push you to achieve these goals. And from that moment, that opened so many doors that really helped me connect with not only Dr. Husinger, but other faculty in the political science department. And having those genuine connections with this faculty created a bubble of support that is really unique here within the Department of Political Science at Boise State. And it really helped me achieve my goals and make these career goals realities. And as a first gen student, that is an amazing thing to see.
And we're back with Brian Holsworth to talk about dining options on campus. Brian, can you tell us about the different meal plans that students can choose between?
Absolutely. For first-year students living on campus, we have 3 basic weekly meal plans. Those are the Big Blue All Access. It gives you more flexibility and value within the meal, basically giving you unlimited meals within the dining hall throughout the week. So you're getting your 3 square meals per day. It gives you $200 in flex dollars, which you can use in any dining operation across campus, until 10 meal equivalencies, which gives you the option to have a meal within a retail dining facility outside of the resident dining hall. The next one is the Orange 14. It's 14 meals per week, $200 in flex, and gives you 5 meal equivalencies. And then the lower plan is the Basic 14. 14 meals a week, $100 in flex, but it does not have any meal equivalencies.
Gotcha. And I know you mentioned some retail spots on campus. Do you mind just kind of mentioning some of the big names that we have on campus for students to choose to eat at?
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of walking you through what we have on campus from a dining perspective. At the Student Union Building, we have the Boise River Cafe. It's a residential dining hall. That same pocket of business has some of our national brands, Subway, Chick-fil-A, as well as our Starbucks and a C-store. Across the street from University Drive is Sawtooth Hall that houses South Fork Market, the newest residence dining hall, open to anybody on a meal plan or anybody on campus, as well as a pod. We have another pocket of business at the ILC building that has some retail, Einstein Brothers, Panda Express, Papa John's, and the C-store. We also have a few pod locations across campus. Chafee Hall has a late night option pod We opened Towers pop-up pod as well as Clearwater Suites this year, and we're looking to bring in a few of those dark locations back again this fall for students to help them out across campus.
That's awesome. I remember the late night lines to get a patty melt at the Chafee Pod, so I hear that's still going. But my kind of last question for you, with Adam talking about housing, when students are looking at, okay, here's what I'm going to be paying, that's including a meal plan, correct? So they're required to have that their first year.
That is correct. First year students staying in housing on campus are required to have one of those 3 weekly plans.
And then they are able to opt into a commuter plan for years in the future?
Absolutely, and we encourage every student on campus to opt into one of those commuter plans or something to help them really navigate their day and not worry about where they're eating their lunch.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Definitely check out the dining website for any questions and more info, but I'll invite Ben back up with me to head to our next segment.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for coming to the studio today to talk about housing and dining. You can find more by visiting boisestate.edu/housing. Now, let's check in with Emma.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here in the Special Events Center with Sydney Montgomery, Senior Admissions Counselor and 2016 Boise State alum. When Sydney was a student, she was involved with Dance Marathon and was active in her sorority. She also worked in admissions, which ended up turning into a full-time job when she graduated. Thanks for being my co-host in the studio, Sydney.
I'm so excited to be here. Bronco Day is truly one of my favorite days. It's an honor to help you host. Speaking of, I think we're about ready to get into our first interview. Joining us in the studio is David Mckenzie, a former Boise State football player and 2017 alumni. Since graduating, David has started his own business, David Mckenzie Enterprises, LLC. He's a spokesman, speaker, entrepreneur, connector, and not to mention the voice of Boise. Please help me welcome David D-Mac Mckenzie. David,
how are you?
I heard you're taking over our Instagram today.
I am, and I'm excited.
Are you excited?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So being the voice of Boise, I have to know, how did your experience at Boise State kind of prepare you for all the endeavors you've taken on post-graduation?
I think it's huge. You know, Boise State's a huge entrepreneurial type of community, and I think they will support you in the ideas that you have, not only in your degree, but if you have something or ideas outside that degree, they can help you nurture that as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurial minded, where did that come from? Was there an experience at Boise State? I know you were involved in the venture college. So
absolutely. I mean, so once I got done playing football at Boise State, the Boise State Venture College was huge in helping spark those entrepreneurial ideas, which got me into speaking and hosting and doing stuff with CBS and Good Morning America, etc. And so it was a huge part.
How did you start kind of your experience in venture college? How did you hear about it?
You know, it was through a friend of a friend who was taking a couple cohort classes in there, and from that, you know, when you have the right relationships, they say, hey, sign up. And so it was really through campus and through the right people. And if you ask about it, people will definitely let you know.
Totally. So you mentioned Bronco football.
Oh yeah.
I have to know, what was it like being a part of the program? Kind of walk us through that experience.
It was awesome, man. I got to be a part of the 2014 Fiesta Bowl team. I got actually the 2015 Bowl ring on right now. I got the suit Bronco on right now. I'm Broncoed out today.
Yeah, Bronco spirit.
So it was cool, man. Some good teams, and we got a new football coach, Coach Avalos. So I'm pretty excited for that. It's Bronco culture, man.
Yes, I'm excited for the season. And you're being the voice of Boise. We hear you at those football games.
Yeah,
so it's kind of a full circle experience.
Yeah, I get to be on the field and, you know, sing Living on a Prayer and all the classic rock stuff to get the crowd involved. So we have fun.
I love it. Last question.
Okay.
If you had one piece of advice for an incoming Bronco this fall, what would you tell him?
I would just say network with intent, align with the right relationships, and Boise is a really very well-connected place if you're connected with the right people, so enjoy it.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see you take over the Instagram. Check him out today, and back to you, Emma.
Thank you so much for coming in today, D-Mac. Always great to meet cool alumni doing awesome stuff out there in the real world, including getting me on social. Now let's pause for a word from us. Hello? Control room? What's happening? PC, Ben, do you know what's going on?
No clue. Troll booth? Anyone? Hello?
What are you doing? We talked about this. Come on. Let's get out of here. We got a show to run. Sorry, guys. It was Buster again. Let's go back to live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, that was interesting. Let's try that again. And now, a word from us.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Chu. I'm from Marin County, California. I'm studying accounting and information technology, and I'm in my 5th year within the College of Business and Economics. When I was initially looking for schools, when I was a junior in high school, Boise State wasn't on my radar. It wasn't until an older member of my track team told me that he chose Boise State that it really became something that I was interested in. When I started looking deeper into Boise State, I really started to notice how special our College of Business and Economics is here. What I saw was very special about the school was the class sizes. Even in some of the lower level business classes, we had class sizes under 30. That's something that I really didn't see going on at other schools, and the professors can really give you the support necessary to be able to succeed. Within the accountancy department at Boise State, there is a mentorship program. The mentorship program links up Boise State students with local accounting professionals. In doing the accounting mentorship program, it actually supported my decision making in choosing one of the internships that I took. I was applying for the mentorship program and met with a local professional who was working at a firm called Clearwater Analytics. At the time, I was also applying for an internship position with Clearwater Analytics. He was able to support me through my experiences, telling me all about what it was like to work for the firm. I think some of the most rewarding experiences I've had at Boise State so far has been working as an undergraduate learning assistant for the accountancy department. When a student would come in and they would either have a test, assignment, some kind of project that they were working on, being able to help them through that and work with them on a one-on-one level was incredibly gratifying for me. My biggest piece of advice for any student coming to Boise State University and coming to the College of Business Economics is just getting out there and trying as much as you possibly can. There's so much that you can learn in your classes, but from my experiences, there's so much more that I got out from all the activities that I did outside of my classes. You don't know what you'll really enjoy unless you give it a shot.
Okay, let's get back into the swing of things, huh? Austin, what do we have next?
I'm glad you asked, Ben. Throughout the last 4 years, did you have an opportunity to get involved in anything outside of class, any clubs or organizations?
I mean, I played in a few intramural basketball leagues and attended home sporting events, but once I took my first university television productions class, fell in love with it, met some of my best friends, gained valuable experience to further my career, and I've been able to produce my own show, Chimney Chatter. If you love to laugh, then you'll love this. Search Chimney Chatter on YouTube, and you might not regret it.
I love to hear it. I think getting involved is such an important part of the college experience.
Agreed, Austin. I know we're about to hear from some student clubs and organizations, but first we have Kayla Mcdonough, Boise State Student Body President, who would like to share a message with all the future Broncos joining us today. Hey, Kayla. Go ahead and come up.
Thank you. Are we on? Oh, hello everyone. My name is Kayla Mcdonough and I'm the current student body president of Boise State. Welcome to Bronco Day. I hope you are all doing well and I'm so grateful that you are able to join us today through this virtual event. I hope you are able to get to know Boise State a little better and what it means to be a Bronco. Boise State is a place of love, growth, and opportunity with numerous majors and minors to choose from and over 200 student clubs to join. The possibilities here are endless. Along with opportunity, we have amazing faculty and staff that are here to support you along the way. Growing up in a small town, I always knew I wanted to go to college and pursue an education. When I began my search for my ideal college, I looked into location, cost, and opportunity. And from the very first time I toured Boise State, I knew this was the place for me. I instantly fell in love with the campus and community and all that they have to offer. Not only do we have over 200 student organizations for you to get involved in and make friends, but we have constant campus events and we are surrounded by tons of amazing restaurants, coffee shops, and small businesses. Along with this vibrant environment, there is so much here to do. Boise has activities all year round, whether it be floating the river in the summer or hitting the slopes in the winter. My whole experience has been nothing but amazing here. From all the places I've been, the opportunities I've had, and to the amazing friends I've made, I wouldn't change it for the world. Choosing Boise State is by far one of the best choices I have ever made. We love our students, and we are so excited to have you join us. Come give campus a tour, and I promise you, you'll love it just as much as I do. Take good care of yourself, and as always, go Broncos. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in today, Kayla, for Bronco Day. Now let's turn to the 4 students that are going to chat with us about the clubs or organizations that have helped define their time at Boise State. First up, I'm going to welcome Wyatt. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here, Wyatt. If you don't mind, just giving a quick intro about yourself, and I know you're involved with the University Pulse Radio.
Yeah, so my name is Wyatt Sharon. I'm a senior here at Boise State University, and I'm currently the general manager of the University Pulse, Boise State University student-run radio station. I've been involved for about the last 4 years. I got involved my freshman year. I was a show host, and then I was involved with many of the other positions at the station until general manager this year.
Yeah, so can you dive a little bit more into when you were the host of your own show? Kind of what did that look like? How did you get involved and be able to have that opportunity as a student?
Yeah, so we offer a bunch of different opportunities. Any show can be like a music show, a talk show. For the talk shows, we also do podcasting, so you can pre-record it and podcast and upload it like Spotify or Apple Podcasts. But my show that I did was a music show that I would do where we have our own like turntable, a CD player in the station, and all of our music is stored in our computer too, so we can play live there.
That's awesome. And then with the opportunity to kind of have this, is this something that you're looking to go into after graduation, or what's your plans when you finish up at Boise State?
Yeah, so since being involved with the station for the last 3 years, I've gotten a lot of professional experience being in this position. So I'm hoping to stay in like music promotion and radio promotion. I've applied to a few things, to a couple record labels and promotion companies. So I do have that to look forward to, and I'm hoping to stay in radio and music promotion.
That's awesome. And then if a student was interested, if they're coming on to fall as a freshman, is that a time that they can already start to jump into maybe being a part of University Pulse or using those facilities, or what is the process to kind of join that club?
Yeah, definitely. So on our website, universitypulse.com, we have a producer application and a just general involvement application to fill out. Along with that, we've never really turned down a show idea for students to be on the air, and I got involved my first week on campus my freshman year. So we definitely have the door open to freshmen or anybody interested in applying. Again, universitypulse.com, we have an application on there that students can find.
Yeah, I've seen that. The studio right down the hall from my office in the student union seems like pretty nice equipment for students to be able to use. And I know we talked about it a few days ago, just like a 24-hour stream that you guys going on. What can students go out and maybe check out to see what the University Pulse Radio is like before they come to campus?
Yeah, they can check out our stream again at universitypulse.com. They can also find us on the Radio Effects app. If they go onto the Radio Effects app, type in University Pulse, they'll find us there. We have a 24/7 stream online where we have music. Multiple shows every week happen. We have a team about 18 to 30 of us every year that put on great shows, talk shows, music shows, anything you can think of.
That's awesome, and I appreciate you kind of sharing a little bit more about it. I know it seems like podcasts are taking over, and a lot of students are interested in getting into that that kind of field, so I appreciate you taking the time. Have a great rest of your weekend, and with that, I'm actually going to have you step down. I'm going to have Elizabeth come and join me on the stage.
Awesome. Go Bronco Day.
All right. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hi, Austin. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing great.
Awesome. So just kind of starting out with a quick intro of yourself, maybe what year you are, where you're from, and then we'll kind of dive into Project Dream for Tomorrow, OELA, some things I know you're involved in. So
yes, absolutely. So my name is Elizabeth. I'm a second-year student here at Boise State. I'm currently majoring in international business, which is super nice, and I feel like not many people do that. I just want to travel the world a little bit, and I don't know, just something like that.
And then where are you from originally?
I'm from Caldwell, Idaho, so not too far from here, just 30 minutes away.
Well, I see your shirt. Tell me a little bit about what OELA is, Project Dream for Tomorrow, how you got involved in it, and kind of what it offers incoming students.
Yeah, absolutely. So OELA stands for Organización de Estudiantes Latinoamericanos. We're currently in the process of changing our name, just to make it a little more diverse or inclusive. But for now, it's OELA, and our main goal throughout the year is to create a welcome environment for anyone on campus. I know the names may seem a little bit intimidating, as it's in Spanish, so you may think that you're not allowed to join the club just because it's for a certain group of students. But no, we're more than welcome to have you in. The way I got involved was because my junior and senior year in high school, actually, they hosted an event called Project Dream for Tomorrow, which is a year they focus on all year round to promote higher education to high school students, juniors and seniors specifically. And I was so interested about it, and I tend to like to give back to certain things that help me out to get to where I'm at today. And I figured that joining Oila was a great way to do that. So I joined it. I was able to become a mentor or team lead for Project Dream for Tomorrow, like those leaders that helped me when I was a junior and senior in high school, which was very nice and exciting. Currently, I'm the vice president, but next year I got elected as president. So
congratulations!
Thank you.
That's awesome. And I know, working in the admissions office, I work with Andrea Roscoe, who you work really closely with. So I've seen you for years. And how has it been just being able to kind of find this community and even, having now a student position in it? Do you recommend that students who are incoming, that they look for those on-campus work environments?
Yes, absolutely. I got to know Andrea through her recruitment at my high school, and working for her was actually very nice. I do miss working for admissions. Sad I left, but working with Andrea was very nice. She also helps with Project Dream for Tomorrow. Thank you so much for her help, because she does a big part of it. But yeah, like these students, once they come in, like if they can do work study, that's great, because then they get involved, whether it's in work study or other organizations on campus.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've been lucky enough to be able to go to a few of the Project DFTs or Dream for Tomorrow's, and awesome event, and I really appreciate you being here today. But with that, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for supporting Bronco Day, and I'm actually going to have Phoebe, our last student, come up.
Of course, thank you. Have a great weekend.
All right.
Hello.
How's it going, Phoebe?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. It's an awesome day. Just kind of like we've been going, just a quick introduction of yourself, where you're from, what year you are, and then I know you're pretty involved in the Mechanical Engineering Club, but just a little bit about your involvement on campus.
Yeah. So hello, my name is Phoebe Kane, and I'm a freshman here at Boise State University. I'm from Wenatchee, Washington, which is just right in the center of Washington. And yeah, like you said, I'm currently the treasurer of Mechanical Engineering Club, and was hoping to come and speak a little about it today.
Yeah, and I've been getting hints that you guys are a part, kind of developing like a human-powered vehicle and have a competition that you do. Can you dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So typically in a normal year, we'll have a competition in the spring that we travel to and compete against other universities. And we're still doing that this year, except it is a virtual competition. So this year, our competition is a human-powered vehicle competition, like you said. So universities across America and in different countries are building, like you said, human-powered vehicles, and we're going to be competing against each other virtually. Each university gets to design a vehicle from scratch, and then they're put through an interview and presentation, and then, just getting to actually compete with the vehicles.
Yeah, that's awesome. And being a part of mechanical engineering, what's kind of your goal after graduation? Do you have any grad school option, career outcome? What are you looking to do?
Yeah, so I don't totally know yet, since I am only a freshman, but definitely hoping to continue with mechanical engineering, possibly do some certificates with my major. But yeah, part of the reason I chose mechanical engineering is it is so broad. But yeah, I'm hoping through Mechanical Engineering Club and just other clubs on campus, I'll be able to get an idea of what I want to do more specifically. So yeah, just really exploring my options throughout the next 4 years here, and then hopefully I'll have a better idea once I get closer to graduation.
And then, so you would say, as a freshman, there are opportunities for you to get involved. Campus isn't too scary when you get here.
Yeah.
You can kind of pursue the things you might be passionate about.
For sure. And I would definitely recommend that freshmen take those opportunities and pursue different interests. Being a freshman is a perfect time to do it, especially if you don't know exactly what you want to do. It's the perfect time to try and figure that out. So I would definitely recommend that freshmen go out and try new things and get involved, even though it might be a little scary at first and intimidating. But I would definitely recommend to push past that intimidation, because it's really worth it.
Awesome. And I'm getting out of my comfort zone even to this day
Exactly.
doing stuff like this. So
Yeah.
Boise State does offer so many opportunities, and I thank you for being here today with us.
Yes, of course.
Have a great rest of your weekend. And
Thank
I'm gonna have
you.
Ben
You
come
too.
back up.
Right. Wow, that was great. I mean, although it makes me think I might need to start over and see what other clubs we got here at Boise State. I love it. Now I'd like to send it over to the Spec Studio to check on our next guest.
Thanks, Ben. Okay, high school seniors, how you feeling? Excited to graduate? A little nervous? You still deciding between a few different schools? I can completely understand how you may be feeling right now. I've been there, done that. I know how overwhelming it can be.
Our goal is to help you through the process and make each step a little bit easier. We're joined today by Zoe Segnitz and Tomas Baeza to better explain the orientation process and how to register for your fall classes. Zoe, Tomas, thanks for joining us today.
Good morning.
Happy Bronco Day.
Happy Bronco Day.
So, as you know, we've got a ton of students who are planning on hoping being Broncos this fall, and they're getting excited for making that transition into being a Boise State student. So, Zoe, I'd love to start with you. Can you let us in on what is orientation?
Oh, absolutely. Orientation is our way of providing the smoothest possible transition to Boise State. And this summer, our virtual programming will connect students to orientation leaders who will not only walk them through every step of our virtual summer programming, but actually stay with them as a support system through the end of their first semester. Orientation leaders will also help students connect to peers, incoming peers with shared interests, and set up advising so that they can start to put the pieces of their future schedule in place with registration as part of the orientation process.
Absolutely. So you mentioned that they can expect a virtual program. So for students who are looking to maybe register for that orientation process, how does that look?
Oh, we are live with signups now. So
Great.
all you need to do is search the word orientation on the Boise State homepage and you can sign up today.
Awesome. Piece of advice. What is your favorite part of orientation, or one piece of advice you would give students before attending their orientation?
Well, I'd say a favorite part for me for sure is hearing from our orientation leaders. They are passionate about sharing their experience at Boise State so that our incoming students know what to expect. So I would just say know that they come genuinely invested in the success of our incoming students and ready to share what they know in a super real talk kind of way.
Absolutely. Great. Tomas, question when it comes to registering for classes. For students who are coming in with prior credit that they've earned in high school, whether it's an AP credit, IB, prior credit from a community college, how does that process work with transferring those over and working with advising?
That's a really common process for an incoming student. Once upon a time, it wasn't very common. Now most students have some kind of credit before they would enter college. So credit will be evaluated in two different ways, usually in the form of classes that were taken at a community college or another university before entering Boise State, or in the form of test scores. If it was through a class, then students should make sure that they've contacted the institution from which they earned those grades and make sure that they send those transcripts to Boise State. Those will be evaluated here, and then those will be taken into consideration when an advisor works with the student to set up their first semester classes. If it's in the form of a test score, like an AP score, IB, or SAT or ACT scores, the student should work with the testing agency to make sure that those scores are sent to Boise State. And the same thing will happen. If the scores are such that they've earned credit, those will be articulated and evaluated and then taken into consideration at the advising point.
Perfect. So for students who are getting ready to register for their fall classes, they have an advisor that's designated to help them kind of with that process.
Correct.
Can you kind of help us understand the role of the advisor, and then when do they actually register for those classes?
So registration will happen at the end of a series of steps, and the steps are actually easy to keep track of. As Zoe just mentioned, you register for orientation. Once you register for orientation, you'll meet with you'll do your pre-orientation modules, and then you'll meet with your
orientation leader.
Exactly. And then once you've done that, you're cleared to make an appointment with your academic advisor. Your academic advisor will help you set up your first semester classes. And then once you've done that appointment, you'll be cleared to register for classes. And that would almost always take place the Friday of the same week that you've done your academic advising.
Great.
And in case that sounds tricky at all, that's what our orientation leaders are for. So every incoming student will have a direct line to a student leader who can literally walk them through each step of the process.
Totally. Yeah, the common thread that I think we're hearing, whether it's advising or orientation, is that they've got multiple support systems to help them through this process, whether it's registering for classes, knowing where your classes are going to be, understanding your meal plan, the list goes on. I think just letting students know that transition, we've got support here for them.
And it's inevitable that students will have questions, and they won't all have the same questions, but if you're ever confused at any point, just ask.
Absolutely. There's never a bad question, I think, especially when you're making that transition. Thank you both so much for joining us for Bronco Day 2021. Enjoy your weekend, and back to you, Emma.
Thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget to sign up for an orientation program if you haven't already. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Michelle Flake from Boise, Idaho. I'm a senior at Boise State University studying social work. I chose Boise State University because, one, it's in Boise, which is an amazing place to live. Also, Boise State has an excellent social work program. I have many friends who have gone through their program and they've loved it and they've been able to get excellent jobs in the field of social work. The biggest thing that Boise State has done to foster preparing me for my career is the internships and the service learning. The service learning was set up in my sophomore year, and just the opportunities that Boise State provides, you have a huge gamut of what you can choose from, and that gives you a little bit of taste of what you might want to go into. And then the internship, they have a huge internship fair, and you can go and visit with all kinds of different internship opportunities. And so I was able to go to that fair, and actually didn't have a BSW opportunity in the CUNA School District, but I was able to just speak with them and told them what I was interested in, and she was able to connect me with the principal, and we were able to create this internship, which has been awesome for me. The College of Health Sciences appealed to me because of their great influence in the Valley. I was able to do a service learning in the West Ada School District, working with the homeless youth that attended West Ada schools, and just the connections that the health science program has in Boise was amazing. I had a huge variety to choose from, and then I was able to get my internship at Initial Point High School, which is an alternative high school. So those connections really is where I feel like I've learned the most and are really important to your college experience.
Hi, my name is Abby Nelson, and I'm an undergrad student at Boise State University, and my major is interdisciplinary studies with a focus in communication, psychology, and leadership and human relations.
Hi, my name is Nick Dugovich. I'm an academic advisor for undeclared, major exploring, and interdisciplinary studies students.
So at Boise State University, when I first came here, I was super overwhelmed, and I changed my major multiple times, and it was super nerve-wracking, you know, not knowing exactly what I wanted to do. And so I reached out to the Academic Support Center in hopes to take those next steps so I could figure out what I wanted to do next.
Yeah, definitely. At the Advising and Academic Support Center, even at the point of orientation, we work with students and try our best to reassure them that, you know, it's okay to be undeclared. It's okay to be kind of in this area of exploring different fields, and that we're here to support you with that journey.
Right, and I feel like through COVID, the relationship with your advisor has become even more important because it has shown that you can take ownership of that relationship and not let COVID take anything else from you by being intentional, by, you know, even on Zoom, meeting with your advisor and working with them. And I think that has been a really big factor of why my relationship with my advisors so strong, because I'm so intentional with them. And so that has been really beneficial to me.
Definitely, yeah, and we're there to help with that process for as long as it takes.
Right. Thank you.
One of my top pieces of advice for students when they're trying to figure out where to attend college is to get to know the city that the college is in. You aren't just picking a school, you're choosing a home for the next 4 years.
That's so true. Yes, I grew up in Boise, but immersing yourself in the campus life is an entirely different experience. Something I really do recommend, whether you're from out of state or from coming right here in B-Town, it's talking to a current student or a recent grad. Whether it's somebody from your high school, a relative, or even your tour guide if you happen to visit, that is a really valuable way to better understand the vibe of our school.
Totally, and that's a great segue, Emma. We have 4 current students in the studio to answer all of your commonly asked questions. Shay, Eric, Devin, Dylan, welcome to Bronco Day 2021. We're so excited to have y'all and kind of share your story of how you ended up at Boise State, and I think for a lot of you, especially seniors getting ready to graduate, kind of what that experience has been like for you. Some of you coming from the state of Idaho, some of you coming from outside. So we'll get started with some introductions, and then with that, I'd love to hear, why'd you choose Boise State, or what was that college search process like for you? So Shay, I'll have you start.
Yeah, so my name is Shay. I'm currently a senior right now, and I'm studying kinesiology with an emphasis in exercise science. I'm actually from Boise, Idaho as well, and I'm involved in a few different things on campus. So our student recruitment specialist in the admissions office, Greek life, and our kinesiology club here on campus as well. And I chose Boise State because really the campus size. It's about a 15-minute walk from one end to the other end, so not too bad at all. And then our population as well, it's about 27,000, but 17,000 in our undergrad, so it really feels like a community base, which was really nice. And yeah, a lot of involvement, and the admissions process was really smooth. So
totally. Eric?
Awesome. So, hi, my name's Eric. I'm currently a senior here at Boise State, studying marketing as part of the College of Business and Economics. On top of that, I'm involved in Greek life as well as the fly fishing and snowboarding clubs. I am originally from Southern California, so has been a little bit of a scenery change, but I think part of the reason why I really decided to come here was mainly because of the different opportunities. It was something new to see, but on top of that, just the amount of outdoor opportunities. I mean, you can go snowboarding just 20 minutes away, as well as go on some really, really beautiful hikes and see some cool scenery, while just having a really great town just here in the middle of, right next to campus. So yeah, pass it off to you, Devin.
Devin.
I'll grab this one.
Thanks, Eric. Hi, I'm Devin. I'm a senior here, and I'm studying human resources with a marketing minor. And I'm from just south of Seattle, so I'm from out of state. And I really wanted to go to college out of state. So when looking for that college, I wanted to find a home away from home. I wanted that small community. And Boise State is that big school but small town feel. And I really, really was attracted to that, and I really love that. And so it's been awesome. I don't want to leave.
I'm Dylan Buckland. I'm a junior here. I am studying human resource management at the business building, kind of like a lot of us on the panel here. Great one to go to. I'm from Shelley, Idaho, which is a small town, southeastern Idaho. I chose Boise State because I love my mom. Hi, Mom. Miss you always. I just kind of wanted to be close to home, and it's just such a great area. And honestly, the second that I stepped foot in Boise, I was sold. There wasn't more to convincing me. I was like, Boise State all the way. So
absolutely. Great. Well, I've got a couple questions. Devin, I'd love for you to start. If you could describe to me, or the students that are watching today, what's the Boise State student body like? How would you describe the student body?
No, I love this question because I think that Boise State has a really unique sense of student body. Everyone is super involved, but we're also super passionate about just being a Bronco. Whether you're involved in athletics or in academics or involved in ASBSU, you have your peers there to support you and cheer you on. And so I really love that aspect of this school.
I feel like there's never a time when I was a student or even after where I wore a Boise State sweatshirt in any part of the country without someone yelling, "Go Broncos."
Exactly.
And I feel like that just defines that student body experience for sure. And even just the
Definitely.
community itself and how supportive it is. Absolutely. Shay, question for you. I want you to think back to your senior year self. You're about to make that college decision, and Boise State for you was right down the road. It was the local kind of hometown school. What's one piece of advice that you would give someone in your shoes about their college search process?
Yeah, so, beginning the college search can be a little bit scary. There's a lot of universities to choose from, but realistically, it's just what is on your checklist. What do you want in a college town? What do you want as your experience to be there? And really, where's not only the college going to be, but also how is the hometown going to feel? So that was really a big choice as well. And Boise gave me a lot of options that I really liked. I can go outdoors, and I can still get a sense of community and passionate things to do here on campus. So it was really, again, you really just want to make sure you have a checklist that you can go off of.
Absolutely. Eric, Southern California, you and I both grew up down there, and obviously Boise's a little bit different, but I'd love to know, what are your favorite things to do in the city of Boise? I know you've been able to take advantage of the outdoor recreation that looks a little different than the beach, but there is still surfing in Boise. Fun fact, the river, check it out.
Yeah, totally. So just definitely some of my favorite things to do is, like I mentioned earlier when I was talking before, we have Bogus Basin. It's our local ski and snowboard resort, just about 20 to 30 minutes away. And so having access to that with only $150 student season passes just makes it kind of irresistible to pass up. And on top of that, just the Boise River, having it just running through the middle of campus just creates so much opportunity for students, whether they want to float the river and have a great time and enjoy the warm days with their friends on campus, or if you want to go and maybe go fishing on the river. I know that just going off of those opportunities, I don't think there's a single thing that I thought that I would be interested in, and now it's my favorite hobby up here. So it really, really is awesome. And on top of that, just like Shay was saying about the community too, it makes it so easy to get involved in new things because there really is something called Boise Nice here, and it truly is. You feel like you're part of the community. So yeah.
I remember telling my mom, like, Mom, I can be snowboarding in the morning, class in the afternoon, and a football game or a concert at night, all in the same 2-mile radius, right? Like, it's just crazy to think about. Dylan, I have a question for you. You grew up in Shelley, Idaho. Little different than Boise, came from a bit of a smaller town. Kind of let us in on what that transition was like moving from Shelley to Boise.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so my mascot was a potato. My high school was a potato seller. So I'm super Idaho, super small town, and loved it. Loved the sense of community. And when I came to Boise State, that was kind of my biggest concern, was necessarily seeing if I could find that sense of community that I had in a small town. So once I came to Boise State and I met with an admissions counselor and I kind of did the whole walk through, got the vibe for everything, I fell in love. There was no taking me back, honestly. And sorry to say, but I think I'm going to stay in Boise. I just love everything about it. And I know that transition's so scary. I mean, I made my decision in 4 days. I was, you know what, I'm going to go to Boise State. And I was also a transfer student. So I went to a smaller university, or a smaller campus in Eastern Idaho. So when I actually did that transition, I was so nervous. But the biggest thing is just go for it. You have your whole life ahead of you, and honestly, if you make these big choices now, it just benefits you in the future. And I've really, especially now it's my junior year, I feel like I'm now finally immersing myself, and I'm finally like getting in that community, and I like can't be happier. So
I love it. Okay, well, let's transition and talk academics. Devin, and a couple of you're a part of the College of Business and Economics specifically. I'd love to know, what are your classes like? Do you actually know your professors? Are you sitting in lecture halls of 300? Just what does that experience look like?
Definitely. I think this is a great topic to hit too, because that's another big reason why I came to Boise State was the class size. So the average class size at Boise State is about 30 students to 1 professor. So, you know, you're not in those big lecture halls with 500 plus students. I did not want to feel like another number coming to college. And so I have not felt that at all. I have had great experiences. They're so personable. They, you know, set aside office hours for you to go to. A lot of them give you your phone number, which I was a little taken off guard at first. I was like, is this like weird? But no, they just really care about you. And also, even if you're in those larger lecture halls, the largest class we have on campus seats 250 students. So you're going to have TAs that are available to help you. And I've had a really, really great experience with that. So
love it.
Love it.
Shay, you study kinesiology. What about you? What's your academic experience kind of looked like?
Yeah, so being a kinesiology major, you do a lot of labs, and it's a lot of hands-on experience. So that's something that I really like. Again, we are in that smaller classroom range, so that's always really nice. And just like Devin was saying, you are always talking with your professors. You get to meet with them whenever you want. They're really available, which is also really nice. And yeah, there's a lot of hands-on experience, which is really great to utilize those skills and those tools when we get out of here. So.
Absolutely. So for some students that are watching today specifically, they're kind of either making that decision or they're committed to be Broncos. And I know for me, making that transition, moving away from home and coming to college can be really nerve-wracking. I'm like, am I going to make friends? You know, how do you even get involved, that whole concept? So Dylan, can you kind of share with us, getting involved, you kind of mentioned it, like how do you even make friends? What does that look like? What was your experience like getting involved?
So getting involved, like I said, it kind of took me up until my junior year to at least get involved here on campus. I made plenty of friends in my classes. As the small class size, they kind of put you in groups, pairs, so you're kind of like forced to make friends. But everyone here is so welcoming. Like, I was so nervous about the community aspect, and as soon as I came here and I went to my very first psychology class with 250 students, it was like right off the bat, it was like, hey, where are you from? What are you doing? Hey, I know you. Like, I felt so welcomed, and getting involved, it's just an easy step of just reaching out to people that are in your kind of your circle group. Or a lot of the times too, we have like admissions counselors who will come into classes and let you know about certain activities. But I would just say trying to get involved and just seeking out friendships and stuff is my biggest way.
Great. Eric, what does the first week of school look like? Bronco welcome. What was that like for you? Or what does that transition look like that first week of school?
Totally. So that Bronco welcome, that week, that first day of school, right when you move in, is just so much fun. Not only is everyone kind of in the same boat as you, and everyone's, you know, super excited to go and meet each other and, you know, curious about what other people are studying, but we also have a lot of really, really fun events. So I know my freshman year, we did things like the freshman float. For example, they took almost all the freshmen out of those residence halls, provided them with rafts and even transportation up to Barber Park. It's our local launching spot. And we all floated down the river all together. It was super, super fun. It was great to kind of immerse myself in the kind of Boise feel that first week, but then also meet a lot of other fellow students. And we've even had stuff like, even in my first week as well, we had things like the splatter party, where even in our main kind of residence hall area on a grass field, we had a DJ and a bunch of students coming out and able to have a great time. It's a nice neon show with paint. It's a great time. So yeah, no, definitely that first week. I always recommend to students, especially when it comes to getting involved, going out and just saying yes to those events, even if it doesn't seem like exactly your thing. Going out and kind of taking that extra step is really something that'll have a big impact very positively on your college experience. So that's my kind of big one piece of advice. So yeah.
You reminded me of one of my favorite traditions, blue and orange pancakes on the first day of school. They're phenomenal. Check it out. Okay, last question to Eric. You already kind of answered it, that one piece of advice, but I'm gonna have the rest of y'all answer. So Dylan, I'll have you start. What's your one piece of advice you would give a student who's gonna be coming to Boise State next year?
I'll take it just from my experience, is every single day, just keep pushing yourself, keep finding that new thing to do, that new person to talk to, that new event to get involved in, and just really push yourself. Only great things come from when you push yourself.
Devin, what about you? What's your piece of advice?
Mine goes along a little bit with Dylan's, but I would just say get out of your comfort zone. And like Eric even mentioned, there's so many opportunities here at Boise State. And so say yes to the thing that makes you uncomfortable. Get out of that little bubble that you may be coming from, because I know that's how I was when I came, as a freshman. And I feel like I've grown a lot from the time now being a senior. So say yes.
Shay, what about you?
Yeah, I would just, again, just like them, put yourself out there and you really can't go wrong. You might find something that you never knew that you enjoyed. So just find your passion here and grow here.
You guys are making me love Boise State all over again. It's like the whole idea of the Ida home feeling is so real. So thank you all so much for joining us on this Saturday for Bronco Day. I loved kind of talking through your experiences, and have a great rest of your weekend. Back to you, Emma.
That was so cool. I love hearing Broncos talk about how much they love Boise State. Now, let's fit in one more break before we hear a word from one of the coolest leaders on campus, Vice President for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, Dr. Leslie Webb.
Do you want to learn more about the library? There's an app for that. Are you looking for help with media production, such as audios and visuals? There's rooms for that. Looking to publish something? There's a way to publish that. Do you want to learn how to sew, 3D print, or vinyl cut? There's a Maker Lab for that.
Wow, what a first hour. It's been so great to hear from our students, staff, and alumni, and any introduction to Boise State would not be complete without an appearance from Buster Bronco. So today, we'll be scratching the surface on all that we have to offer you. Now, Boise State is a place where you get to create the experience you want. Small, tight-knit community, or an interconnected, be everywhere, do everything kind of experience. And we're focused on your success, and we'll help you with whatever obstacles come your way. Over the past year, one thing has become so clear to me, and that is that Broncos are a family, and we are stronger together. So, coming up in the second hour, we get to spend some time with local legend alumni and Boise City Council member Jimmy Halliburton. You'll hear from fraternity and sorority representatives. We'll speak with parents and families about life on campus and beyond. You'll meet folks from all of our academic colleges, and I am ecstatic that you get to meet another special guest. I'm only going to say this Bronco bleeds blue and orange. So, thank you so much for spending some of your Saturday with us. I hope you've gathered insight about how we're here to support you, the experiences of our students, both current and former, and what college life means for our families too, among so many other things. We know these are challenging times, but as this broadcast shows, our students are still having incredible, career-supporting, adventurous experiences in their home, Boise State University. So with that, let me throw it back to Ben and Emma for another cool Choose Your Own Adventure stop. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Dr. Webb. She is so sweet.
Hey, Emma, guess what time it is?
Time for me to get a watch.
Well, yeah, you should probably get on that, but no, it's time for the audience to choose our next tour adventure. Take it away, Ryan and Jenna.
All right, we have moved to the center of campus, and we will either be showing off the quad or the greenbelt.
It's a tough choice, Ryan. The quad is the heart of campus, but the greenbelt is what connects the city to campus and beyond. I just love both.
Now let's see what the crowd thinks. As a reminder, you can vote in the chat right down below, right here.
And while we wait for your votes to come in, let's go ahead and toss to a word from our favorite sponsor. Yep, you guessed it, us.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Waterman, Assistant Director of Athletic Bands and Professor of Tuba.
I'm TJ Davis. I'm a junior at Boise State, and I'm a music education major.
I'm Matthew McMichael. I'm a senior here at Boise State and drum major for the Blue Thunder Marching Band, and I play trombone.
My name is Dr. Joe Twinello, Director of Athletic Bands, also teach the all-campus concert band. So Matt, I know we met many, many years ago, well before your time here at Boise State.
It was like 10 years ago. I was in the Canyon County Honor Band. I think it's kind of weird just how long ago it's been and how it's led to where I am today at Boise State.
Bill, I know you've had a great relationship with TJ here.
Yeah, TJ, I remember, we've been here, or I've been here 2 years now, and coming in on the Blue, talking about how I drove up through Wyoming, and you were from Wyoming, and I think we even talked about how I think I stayed in your hometown on my move out.
Stays there. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I drove through there. Nobody's like, I'm gonna hang out here for a while.
Right, yeah. Obviously, in college, you're going to have a lot of different experiences and be exposed to a lot of different things, and I think that's been one of the great things about seeing students in the marching band that are in various majors all across campus.
I think it's also kind of unique in a music department setting too. We kind of talked about the marching band, but we all, as faculty, get a chance to kind of nurture you in some shape, and it's not like you say, it's not like a 1 year and you're done in that course. It's like, I'll see you again in a couple years.
I think it's been most beneficial, just kind of talking about real life things, I think people get caught up with different perceptions of like who your professor is, and so being able to connect and talk about like the real things.
TJ, I think one of the really great things that we have here going on at Boise State is the opportunity to provide you counsel. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about what you're looking to do to build your grad school resume.
I reached out to you and I was like, where do I start? And you were like, well, we can get you some time on the podium. And I was looking at grad school auditions and they were like, we want to see you conduct a band. We want to see you rehearse, perform. And so that was like the perfect opportunity you could have provided me with.
After being, a drum major in high school, I wanted to be a part of Blue Thunder coming in. Thought to myself, why not try out? And so throughout my time of development, of growing as not only a musician and conductor, but like as a person, it showed that like I truly do want to be an educator through your guidance.
And I definitely think that's one of the other things that I'm most proud of being on this campus and working with you guys is that we have the opportunity to have a really personal connection with so many people. And Blue Thunder does a phenomenal job of bringing that campus-wide.
You and Joe, and as well as Dr. Paradis, have just instilled us with a lot of like morals that have helped our work ethic and that have made us the educators that we are right now and who we're going to become in the future.
And then we also talk about never settling a lot. And I think that never settling one is the one that resonates with me because it's just like there's this constant drive, like, yeah, it's good, but could it be better?
Just really appreciate you guys all being here and thankful for who you are and really excited to see what you guys are going to do with your futures.
One size doesn't fit all, especially when it comes to education. You are unique, and your education experience should be too. At Boise State Online, we help you accomplish your educational goals, whatever your life circumstances. Online education saves time and money. With no out-of-state tuition, online students from all over the world access flexible education wherever they are and whenever they can. You're not alone in your educational journey. Our biggest goal is to help you succeed. Boise State Online offers personalized and consistent coaching to help you find the right program to fit your unique needs. Once admitted, you plan your degree path with an advisor who helps you navigate your education and life's hurdles. Online courses are thoughtfully developed to engage you. Faculty and designers build meaningful online experiences that bring subjects to life. Students connect and collaborate through online forums, live video discussions, and group projects. We create opportunities for you to get a college degree and transform your life. This is designed for you. This is connection. This is transformative. This is Boise State Online. We bring the blue to you.
The Greenbelt! One of my favorite parts of Boise. Hannah, do you want to talk about the Greenbelt and what it has to offer?
Absolutely. So the Greenbelt runs parallel to the Boise River right here, where students actually come out and float the river all the time during summer. We also have the Friendship Bridge right there, which connects our school into the downtown. We have the Julia Davis Park right there, as well as the Boise Zoo.
Wow, so Hannah, what do you like to do on the Greenbelt, you yourself?
Yeah, so I love to come out here and rent a bike and then bike down the whole Greenbelt right alongside the Boise River. It's always beautiful and so scenic.
All right, well, that's it from one of our favorite outdoor spots on campus. Now we're about to jump back into our whip, also known as our golf cart. Let's kick it back to Ben, back in the studio.
Tour segments. We have such an awesome campus. It's nice to be able to show it off, huh?
Totally. Have you ever thought about maybe giving tours for admissions?
Oh, no. This face was made for television. All right, I can't be exposed to the elements.
Well, just know it's not too late to add tour guide to your resume. Think about it.
I will.
But speaking of graduation, I think our alumni provide such a great example of how a degree at Boise State prepares you for life after college. I'm excited to welcome our next guest, Executive Director and co-founder of the Boise Bicycle Project, Boise City Council member, and Boise State class of 2008 alum, Jimmy Halliburton. Jimmy, how's it going?
Good to see you. You all are rocking it today.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being a part of it. I know I just gave you some of your accolades, but do you mind just kind of giving a brief intro of yourself, and then we'll jump into some questions?
Absolutely. Well, I'm Jimmy Halliburton. I'm the executive director and founder of a nonprofit called the Boise Bicycle Project. We've donated thousands of bicycles to kids all over the Treasure Valley. And I'm also an elected official. So last year I was voted to city council. And so today, once a week, I get to get behind the dais and make decisions that will affect Boise's future going forward with my 5 other city council members.
Awesome. And I know that your kind of path to Boise State, also your path to graduating from Boise State, was a little bit untraditional. Do you mind just kind of sharing what brought you to Boise State and then just kind of what that college experience looked like for you?
Sure. Well, I was born and raised in Boise, Idaho. I went to Eagle High School, and I always sort of had this thirst for adventure. And so the idea of going to college and sitting behind a desk wasn't always the most appealing thing for me. And I didn't have the ability to pay for college as well. And so I started fighting fires for the Forest Service on a hotshot crew. And so I traveled all over the country putting out fires wherever they were the biggest, from Florida to Alaska to Idaho and everywhere in between. And then I would come back at the end of fire season. I would take one semester at a time. So it took me about 7 years to graduate, a little bit longer than most people, but I did it bit by bit, and I got that adventure in, and I got to learn when I was at school and really kind of absorb this beautiful lens of different perspectives from all the different students that are here, and really kind of take my learning to the next level.
Awesome. And during your time, I'm sure that you probably learned some valuable just lessons of life, but especially when you look at starting a nonprofit that's become so big and known not just in the city of Boise, but I'm sure throughout the state. So do you mind just kind of taking us through how you started the Boise Bicycle Project, how that idea came to mind, but then also what did Boise State give you to kind of make that happen?
Well, one of the things that Boise State does is it teaches you how to identify obstacles and then how to overcome them. And so while I was going to school at Boise State, I had grown up in Boise, riding my bicycle all over the place, working at bike shops, and I began to observe our community, and I could see that there were a lot of people who had experiences like me, riding around on bicycles, and a lot of other people who didn't have bicycles or couldn't afford to get them repaired. So while I was a student here, I began to put together this idea for a nonprofit bicycle shop that can make bicycles, bicycle repair, and bicycle education available to everybody regardless of income. And Boise State really gave me the tools to do that. And again, it's about identifying the obstacles and figuring out how you can turn those into opportunities. That's what I learned at Boise State.
That's awesome. And obviously, I have so many questions for you, but also just jumping into now being a Boise City Council member, what is it about this city that made you want to not only start a huge nonprofit, but then even give more of your time and try to be in on those meetings and make a difference?
Well, I really think that Boise is one of the best cities in the entire country. And I've traveled all over, and there's really just no place like it. It's the cultural epicenter of Idaho. And so the proximity of Boise State to downtown and then surrounding recreation areas, there's just no place quite like Boise to live. And so I'm excited to represent this city as an elected official. Every single week when I make a decision for a new building, a new pathway, a new project, a new ordinance, I know that I'm making this a better city for everyone and for the next generation of leaders, and hopefully finding other people who I can kind of bring to the table. And so I love working with students, bringing their voices to the table so that they can make those decisions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And just kind of wrapping up, I mean, for a lot of students watching right now, I mean, if anything you got out of this, Boise is very bike friendly. Boise State sets you up for your future, but I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of share a little bit more about your story. You're such an awesome alumni to have, so thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Yeah, thank you. Keep up the good work, and go Broncos.
Thanks, Jimmy. Now I'm going to invite Ben back up with me.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. That was awesome. It's awesome to hear what you've done for the community. Now, let's send it back over to the Spec Studio.
Thank you guys so much. What a great story. Big thanks to Jimmy for joining us today.
Up next, we have a fan favorite, a fraternity and sorority life panel. Are you all ready to talk about what it means to be in a sorority or fraternity at Boise State?
Something tells me there's some enthusiastic cheers happening across the country right now.
Absolutely. Everyone at home, just remember, this isn't recruitment. That happens in the fall. Before we get started, let's check out this message from our sponsors.
I'm Chloe Pampush. I am originally from Tillamook, Oregon, and I just graduated last May from Boise State.
And I'm Brian Wiley. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Art, Design, and Visual Studies, where I teach graphic design. And I'm also from Oregon. I definitely remember Chloe because she preemptively told me that she was going to ask a lot of questions. She's like, I don't have a lot of questions now, but I'm going to be asking a lot of questions, which is always fantastic. Like, I don't know why you would be in college if you weren't there to ask a ton of questions. I think that's fantastic, but it was a lot of questions.
I especially, because I graduated and didn't have the ability to maintain like in-person connections with people, and just kind of transitioning virtually for like the last part of my degree kind of made me realize how much I benefited from those kind of structured social interactions, where like I knew every Monday and Wednesday I was going to be in a classroom with the same people, and I would get to chat with my friends and get feedback on my work. And not having that definitely made me make more of an effort to be in touch with people, I think.
I felt like faculty-student relationships were important before, and the relationships, student relationships, that cohort relationship was really important before. But now I feel like it's the most important thing. If you can get that right, it makes all the other stuff way more easy. And so I think one thing I've started doing in my classes is making space for that. You have to be able to know somebody, you have to know them, and I think that, at least for me, like I've spent a lot more time focusing on building those relationships because they, like I said before, they make everything easier, and I don't think it's easy to learn from people you don't know.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
My name is Jessica Lambert. I am from Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands. I moved to Boise for high school about 4 years ago. My major is mechanical engineering, and I am a sophomore. The college engineering appealed to me because I knew of a lot of research opportunities here and opportunities to get internships. So on my high school robotics team, a lot of the mentors were actually either students here or faculty here. So I had friends who, or my mentors who worked here, and they really showed that they cared for the community because they were taking time out of their day to come and mentor a high school team. And I knew that's like something that, you know, it takes a lot of time and energy to do that. And knowing that the community here cares so much about, you know, helping the youth and like bringing up like young women and young people to love engineering is something that I wanted to be a part of. My most worthwhile experience, my best experience in college has definitely been working here at the Engineering Innovation Studio. The Engineering Innovation Studio, what I do here is I help maintain the shop, you know, keep it clean, welcome people in, and also help people learn how to use the machines, whether that's like the lathe, the mills, behind me we have a bunch of like bandsaws and grinders and drill presses, and there's a whole welding room and a wood shop room that's getting built right now on top of like an electronics bench and 3D printers. We have so many resources, and I get to show people those resources and show them how to use it so that they can be more mindful about their designs, right? Now, like through my experiences here, through the Engineering Innovation Studio, through the New Product Development Lab, I realized that what I really want to do is I want to help small businesses design their products. I want to help them, you know, bring their ideas that are on napkins or like, you know, just in their heads to life and get those products and things out to the world. I just wanted to give a big thank you to all the scholarship donors and alumni that are making my college experience possible here at Boise State.
And we're back. All right, y'all, welcome to Bronco Day 2021. For our Sorority and Fraternity Life panel, thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm excited to understand more about the community and let the folks know what you guys have going on. We'll start with some introductions. So I'd love to hear your name, what you're representing today, where you're from, major, all the good stuff. Olivia, if you want to start.
Yeah, so my name's Olivia. I am originally from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I'm studying psychology. I'm a junior here at Boise State. And I am in one of the 7 Panhellenic sororities here at Boise State, so I'm in Alpha Chi Omega.
Awesome. Ryan?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ryan Perry. I'm a junior here at Boise State studying civil engineering. I'm from Roseville, California, and I'm currently the president of Alpha Tau Omega, one of the fraternities on campus, and today I'm representing IFC fraternities.
Awesome. Rachel?
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Meyer. I am from Sandpoint, Idaho. I'm a junior this year, and I'm majoring in health studies with a science emphasis. I'm here representing the Panhellenic community, just like Liv said. And yeah, I'm in Tri Delta, and I actually serve on the Panhellenic Executive Council currently. I am the Vice President of Internal Recruitment. So I do all stuff recruitment. So
awesome. Yeah. Andrea?
Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea Orozco. I'm a senior admissions counselor and coordinator for multicultural recruitment, and I'm actually the advisor for one of our multicultural sororities, Sigma Lambda Gamma. We have 3 multicultural sororities and 2 multicultural fraternities here on campus, and so very excited to be here.
Awesome. So as y'all know, I also went to Boise State. I was a part of a Panhellenic sorority on campus, and I absolutely loved my experience. But I think for me, my biggest question was, what does the recruitment process look like? I was a little bit nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I'd only seen what was in the movies, and I like to think Boise State looks very different than that. So I'd love for each of you to be able to kind of talk through what your organization's recruitment kind of looks like. So Olivia, if you want to kick us off for Panhellenic, and Rachel, I'll have you add on.
Yeah, totally. So it's a little bit different than some of the long weeks that you might hear about for some sororities at different schools. So we actually usually do recruitment over a 3-day weekend. And we have the day to meet all the chapters. So you'll meet all 7 Panhellenic chapters. And then at the end, you get your bid and you get to run home to your chapter. So it's a really fun experience.
Awesome. Rachel, what do you think when you think about recruitment? What's like maybe one piece of advice you would give someone that's maybe deciding if they want to go through recruitment, or a piece of advice for the actual recruitment process?
I would say that joining sorority life on campus is a very unique experience, and you don't have the chance to do that other than here at Boise State University or at college somewhere else. So I think that taking advantage of being able to join a Panhellenic community is a big deal. So I think you learn a lot about yourself and you learn a lot about others, and I think that my advice would just be to be yourself and definitely just go for it, and you never know unless you try. So
absolutely. Great. Ryan, For IFC recruitment, what does that kind of look like for the fraternities? What can they expect if they're thinking about going through recruitment?
Absolutely. So Rush Week happens about a few weeks into the semester. The way it starts is you go to something called Meet the Chapters, which is essentially you go around to each different chapter. They'll give a presentation to all of the people rushing, and then after that, each fraternity will put out a list of events for the week. And you can choose to go to whatever fraternity's events you want to. The piece of advice that I usually give people rushing is to try to go to as many as possible. Find your fit. I know a lot of people that will only choose one to rush, and then they won't get to meet everyone else. But at the end of the week, we have bid day, and by then, the fraternity that you're looking into will give you your choice by then. So. But there are organizations like Alpha Tau Omega, the fraternity that I am representing, and Delta Upsilon that they recruit outside of the formal rush week. So if you're wanting to wait to rush, you can definitely rush all year round.
Absolutely. So I guess one of the biggest differences I'm hearing is for the Panhellenic sororities, you will meet all of the chapters. You know, it's a part of the recruitment process where you meet each organization, whereas the fraternities, you have to kind of choose who you'd like to meet. And I think regardless, keeping that open-mindedness for sure when you're going through recruitment to really get to know all of the organizations. Andrea, from your perspective for our multicultural Greek organizations, what does that recruitment process kind of look like?
Well, I think one of the similarities is the importance of getting to know the different chapters and making sure that students find the right fit, right? However, the recruitment process is very different from Panhellenic and IFC, but it's also different within all of the multicultural organizations. My biggest suggestion is for interested students is to get to know the organizations, get to understand their values and what they're going to be working towards, get to know the community, and reach out to the organizations directly. Recruitment does happen year-round, and each organization will determine when they're going to be starting their recruitment. So reach out to them. I know a lot of them are very active on social media, or you can email them directly, and so getting to know when they're going to be doing recruitment, when they're going to be providing like information sessions is going to be really important as well, and connecting with students that are currently in the organizations is going to be a big part of it as well.
Absolutely, and if you're preparing to be a Bronco this fall and you're interested in going through recruitment for any of our organizations, there's a lot of informational opportunities, whether it's meet the chapters or informational sessions, so you can really get to know what that process will look like. Absolutely. So Olivia, I'd love to know, a lot of the questions we get from students is, do we have a Greek row? And if we don't, what does it kind of look like here as far as housing or that experience?
Yeah, definitely. So our Greek life might be a little bit different than some places that you hear about. So we don't have a specific Greek row for all of our sororities and fraternities. A couple chapters do have some houses. However, they're not the big houses that you might see at other schools. So it's kind of more of an option if you want to live in those houses with some of your fellow sisters or brothers. You can totally do that. But what's nice is that our Greek life is a little bit more club oriented. We're more of one big community instead of specific chapters. So for example, I've lived with multiple different girls in different sororities, which is really fun. So I'm able to go support their philanthropy events throughout the year and kind of go to some of their events while also still supporting my own. So that's something that I really love about our Greek life community at Boise State.
That was one of my favorite parts, is walking into the library and seeing a bunch of people in letters, but it was all types of letters or not. And I think it's cool to see that it's not just, each organization is kind of in their own silo. Everyone really is a part of that bigger community. So I totally agree with you. Ryan, question for you. Generally speaking, sororities and fraternities are known for their formals and their social events specifically. So what else do you do in a fraternity or sorority?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think two really overlooked aspects of fraternity and sorority life on college campuses are the social service and philanthropy aspects. My organization actually just got finished with our philanthropy week. We support the Speedy Foundation, but each Greek organization on campus supports a different philanthropy organization, either at a national level or at a local level. And we go out, we raise money, we throw pies at each other, we crack eggs on each other's heads just to raise money for our each respective causes. And also our social service as well is really one thing that I don't think people think about a lot. I think it's called social service for a reason. We got with other organizations, other fraternities, other sororities, and we help give back to the community, whether that be a roadside cleanup or going to do service for a group of people. I think those are two of the most important aspects that people overlook.
Absolutely. And I think it's not only service with, time and those service projects, but also being able to raise money for really important causes. I know one of our fraternities just did one of their philanthropy weeks and they raised $15,000 in a week. So it really is life-changing to see that philanthropic effort come from the fraternity and sorority community. Rachel, I'd love to know, what has been your favorite part about being in a sorority? Maybe something you didn't expect that ended up being your favorite part, or when you think about your favorite piece of your experience?
To actually kind of go off of what we were just talking about, in Tri Delta, our philanthropy is St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and we do we started it as 5K in a day, but we ended up raising way more money, so we kept upping it, and we actually raised like 37K in a day. So I would say it's just really rewarding to know that we're not just an organization to meet people and, to do all, resume, all that, but it's more about what you're doing for other people and being a part of something bigger than yourself. And so I think it's really rewarding just raising money and seeing that you really can make a difference if you really want to. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I would say that.
Andrea, what about you? What's been your favorite part of kind of advising a group of women for your sorority that you're affiliated with?
Yeah, I think the most important thing, and definitely one of my favorite things, is watching the organization come together in community, support each other through their studies, through their service, through their leadership development. I love to see that these culturally based organizations have an opportunity to support organizations maybe at a local or even at a national level. And more than anything, it's that friendship and like I mentioned before, that community is so important for their own personal development, but also for their well-being here on campus. And so watching all of that is definitely been one of my favorite things when it comes to advising SLG.
Absolutely. The community was my favorite part. I think for students, especially when you're coming into a university like a Boise State and you're looking to make friends and build community and find folks that have similar values, as you do, and things that you like to do outside of, school. The fraternity and sorority community for me was kind of that first step into making friends and building that community. It's almost like a smaller community within the larger institution. So I loved reliving it, but thank you all so much for coming and kind of sharing with us some information about sororities and fraternities, and good luck with recruitment in the fall and the rest of the semester. So thanks for joining us for Bronco Day. Back to you, Emma.
Thank you guys for coming in today. I just wanted to take a quick moment to acknowledge and address the chat really quick. There's someone named Austin or Andrew, I think it was, Andrew Creta, saying that we're not live right now. We are so live right now. We worked so hard to make this a live show for you. So I just wanted to acknowledge the chat. And if we want to talk, we can talk in there. We got people monitoring it right now. If you have any questions or any concerns, we'll get back to you in the chat because we're live, man. All right, now let's head back over to Ben and Austin to learn a little bit more about what there is to do when you aren't in class.
Austin, did you know that Boise State was ranked among the top 3 universities for outdoor adventure according to Outbound.com?
That really doesn't surprise me. Did you also know that Boise was ranked as having one of the hottest music scenes?
Oh man, I've been to so many concerts here over the past few years, so I can believe it. Now let's talk about all the wonderful things there are to do in Boise.
Let's do it. First, I'd like to welcome Jordan Pascal, a coordinator for our outdoor program, and current student Bronwyn Jones up to join me.
Hi.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me today. And as we were kind of just giving that intro, talking about the outdoor opportunities, we're going to dive into the music scene in just a little bit, but I know you guys kind of have that expertise. Jordan, you working for Campus Rec, being a program coordinator, Bronwyn, you actually being a student getting involved in those. So starting with you, Bronwyn, do you mind just kind of explaining what the outdoor program is at Boise State and what it can offer students?
Yeah, so the outdoor program has 4 areas. We got the trips program, they're student-led trips for students. We've got the climbing gym in the rec center. That's also run by students, open to anyone who wants to try climbing for the first time. We've got the outdoor rental center. That's where all the gear is housed. We have prices for students and also prices for non-members or members of the public for gear. And then we've got the team building program, which is just a program that kind of offers that team building activities for any group looking to get involved.
Totally. And Jordan, you actually being employed by Campus Rec, what is kind of your role when it comes to these programs or the trips that we're putting on for students?
Yeah, my role is really to just oversee the program and just make sure I'm there to support students in everything that they want to do. So it is a student-led program. The ideas that we have for climbing gym competitions or certain events, programs, definitely the trips, all of that is really coming from student interest. And so my role as one of the coordinators in the program is to just help be there to support and and just help see that come to life.
Totally. Yeah. And Bronwyn, I know you have some experience with our trip program, so do you mind just kind of explaining what they are and maybe what your favorite one that you've done? Or
Yeah, so being a trip leader in the program, I've led a few trips. They're all student-led and geared towards students to create that community and those opportunities for people that maybe haven't been able to get outside. We do a variety of trips. We've got overnight trips, and then we've got day trips around the area. Currently, for summer, we've got some week-long orientation trips open for first-year students, again, to build that community. My favorite one I've probably been on is just around Boise, like hiking in the foothills. It's just a great place to see what we've got in town.
Yeah, totally. And just more of kind of a personal question, where, I guess each of you, Jordan, you can start, where are you from? And if you're not from Boise, there, if you are, what is your kind of favorite part about the outdoor opportunities here?
Yeah, I'm from Florida. A place that is very flat and not whitewater and not a ton of mountain biking, although there's some. And coming to Boise, I've been exposed to all of that and getting involved in all of those opportunities right here. So
awesome. What about you, Bronwyn?
I'm from Washington State, so I'm also not from Boise. And coming here has been a great place to learn, backpacking and that sort of thing, and even skiing up at Bogus, just an hour away or so, has been really cool. But yeah, the mountains are awesome here.
That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you guys taking the time. Have a great rest of your weekend, and feel free to head on out. Thanks for being part of Bronco Day.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And before I welcome up our next guest, we are going to kind of go into a little bit about the music scene, but there are a ton of ways to stay active, but also taking advantage of the city that we're in, the art scene, the culture. So as we get Celeste ready to join me, we actually, myself and our next guest, we work together in the admissions office, and it's been so cool to see just the opportunities that Boise State can offer professionally, but what the city of Boise can offer you as far as just kind of exploring passions within. So Celeste, feel free to join me up here, and if you're comfortable, we can take our mask off.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you, Austin.
And I know that I mentioned we worked together, we went to Boise State together, but you're actually representing an organization outside of Boise State called Treefort.
Yeah.
So do you mind just explaining what Treefort Music Festival is?
Yeah, Treefort Music Fest is a 5-day music, arts, culture, food, beer, wine, yoga festival in the heart of downtown Boise.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And as somebody who I know you kind of were able to intern and getting into that program, if this is something that students are passionate about and maybe they want to get into that scene, what was your kind of process to have your foot in the door with Treefort?
Absolutely. So if you're interested in the music industry or like events, it's a great way to get your foot in the door for that type of career, I guess. You can start with volunteering, right? I'm the volunteer coordinator. We have over 900 volunteers and quite a few students. You can intern like I did. So you can intern for one of the forts. We also have a film fort. One of the students that interned with film fort this year was like a Boise State senior. She loved it. And you can attend, right? So you can buy a pass or you can just attend all the free events.
Yeah, and with that, I wanted to kind of dive into that because as somebody who's never been involved in Treefort, but has definitely been downtown when it's going on, it is truly kind of a headache to think of how much is going on in a good way, though. Yeah. So do you mind just kind of explaining how all of downtown kind of comes together and offers this?
Yeah, and I'm really stoked for all the first-year students and transfer students who are coming this year because usually Treefort's in March, but because of COVID, obviously, we had to kind of defer a fest. So we're doing one Treefort in September, so September 22nd through 26th, and then one the next March. So your first month on campus, you'll be able to walk downtown and get to experience this like huge festival. It's kind of like a South by Southwest, if you're familiar. All of the stores in downtown kind of convert to music venues. So the bars convert to music venues, and then the streets are pretty much shut down, right? So there's like a main stage, and then you just get to kind of explore whatever you want.
That's awesome. Well, my kind of last question before we wrap up is just what is your favorite part about maybe Treefort Music Festival, but just the scene in Boise and what it can offer students being this close to our campus?
Yeah, so I'm from Northern California. I grew up in Stockton, and you know, when you live in Boise and you are on campus, it's really the first time in your life probably where you're going to be like within a 10-minute walk of really like cool music venues and, you know, just a very intimate music scene. Like, you're not going to be able to experience that in a lot of other cities, and I love it so much, and I highly recommend getting involved.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Celeste, great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, good to see you too.
I'm going to invite Ben back up with me.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much, Celeste. Looking forward to September already. Well, as you can see, Boise is pretty cool, but you already knew that, didn't you? Another cool thing is our next surprise guest. Take it away.
Thank you, UTP team, for having us today. I'm Andy Oblos, Boise State alum and head football coach. This is Brooke Palcoa.
Also a Boise State alum, played women's basketball 2013 to 17. And you know, once a Bronco, always a Bronco coach.
Always a Bronco. And for you future Broncos, we're excited to talk to you about our experience here, not only in the Treasure Valley and at this university, but more importantly at the sporting events that you're going to get to take part of in the upcoming year. After being in the pandemic for a year and being able to come out, we need to fill these stadiums, and then with the passion and the joy that is Bleed Blue. And you know, there's 7 wonders in the world. Well, we got the 8th wonder right behind us, the home of the blue. And we can't wait for you guys to be able to come out and bring the passion from this valley, from Bronco Nation into this stadium, and make our opponents feel that every time they step into this stadium, and let national television get a feel for what it's like to be in this stadium and to be a part of this university. What has your experience been like, Brooke?
Well, playing in Extra Mile Arena, it was one of the best experiences of my life. And having your peers, your professors, and all the support of the community in that arena cheering you on, there's nothing like it. Just united, bleeding blue through and through.
And you know what the price of admission to go and have a good time?
No, what is it?
It's just to bleed blue because it's free. So we look forward to seeing all you guys in the arenas, in the stadium here, in the 8th wonder behind us. When the season starts, let's fill the stands and let's make sure people hear us, feel us, and let's have a great time. We're going to now take it back to the UTP studios. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Brooke and Coach Avalos. And yet another reason to look forward to September. Football season. All right, this next segment is for all the Bronco families in the audience today. But first, another word from our favorite sponsor.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Reyes. I am originally from Twin Falls, Idaho, and I am a Games, Interactive Media, Mobile major in the College of Innovation and Design at Boise State University, and I'm a sophomore. What appealed to me about the College of Innovation and Design was that it wasn't like any of the other universities that I saw with their game development programs. A lot of those universities had you choose whether or not you wanted to go down an art track or go down a coding track. And while I do prefer art, I did kind of want to learn coding. I thought it was interesting and I'd never done it before. So that was part of why I chose the College of Innovation and Design. Another huge part of it was that, you know, gaming is the first thing in the Gaming, Interactive Media, Mobile major. And because growing up, I loved playing video games, but I never saw main characters that looked like me. And it was rough growing up as a mixed Latina because I wasn't white enough to be a part of like seeing myself in all these awesome white amazing characters, but I also wasn't Latina enough to see myself in all of like the Latina media. And so I wanted to like make characters that looked like me, and that's been like one of my biggest motivations in continuing with the GIM program, is that I want to help create stories and characters for people that are underrepresented in media like video games. Learn to ask for help and know that there's nothing wrong with asking for help. No one can make it through this program alone, and you shouldn't want to try and make through it alone. and that asking for help and like working together to collaborate on like what the best outcome can be is probably the most important thing you could learn as a student.
And we're back with Donna and Alex, parents of current Boise State students.
I'm glad that my mom didn't know we were having this segment. Otherwise, I can guarantee you she'd be on this stage in every piece of blue and orange she owns. I think she loves Boise State even more than I do. Sorry, Mona, I know you're watching. Maybe next year? Donna, Alex, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us for Bronco Day 2021. I guess first, I'd love for you to kind of introduce yourself and maybe give us a little bit about your Boise State student, maybe what they studied and a little bit about them. Donna, I'll have you start.
I guess I'm going first. Hi, my name is Donna Decker. I'm a college and career counselor at Timberline High School, go Wolves, here in Boise. And my daughter, Emma, graduated from Boise State in 2015 with a degree in biology.
Alex?
My name is Alex Gutierrez. I work at Career Services here at Boise State, so go Broncos. My son is named Nick, and Nick is an illustration major wanting to be a concept artist after he graduates, so he's a senior, and yeah, that's it.
Donna, the first question's for you. If we were to ask your Bronco or your student what her favorite part of her Boise State story was, what do you think she'd say? I know she took advantage of a lot of great research opportunities, so I'd love to hear about that too.
She would say the best part of being a Bronco was being in the biology department, so go biology. She loved her professors. They were super, super supportive. Two of them even helped her get into her graduate school program, and she's actually going to finish her master's degree in just a couple of months. And she got very involved with the Intermountain Bird Observatory here at Boise State. I believe it's a nonprofit, but they work through the university and had lots of opportunities to work down at the Boise River, up on Lucky Peak, banding birds and birds of prey, which scared her mother because I was pretty sure they were going to poke her eyeballs out when I saw the pictures. But yeah, it led to great work experience, great field experience, which is definitely what got her into graduate school.
Absolutely. And Alex, your son is an illustration student, so in our, our art department here at Boise State, what's been his favorite part, or maybe specifically with his major, what has he enjoyed?
The classes that I know he really enjoys is the illustration classes, where he's getting to draw, gets to do the kind of work that he wants to do. I think he's also been surprised with what he's learning. Some classes that he's like, and he goes into them and go, wow, this is actually really cool. For instance, there's the figure drawing class, and there's a production class that he actually has taken this semester, and he gets to be the boom mic guy, and he's like, wow, this is actually kind of cool. But there's also that the building that opened up his junior year, and that is a great facility, a fantastic facility, where he gets to have his own space to do the work that he wants to do.
Yeah, the Center for Visual Arts is beautiful, and I believe, best kept secret, has the best views of downtown. So if you're on campus, definitely check it out for the studio spaces and for those views. It's gorgeous. Alex, follow-up question. How do you feel like Boise State supported you in your transition as a parent, with your student going to college? It's a big change, it's a transition, so what was that like?
We had a great enrollment counselor, and she answered all my questions. Luckily, I had known her as an undergrad, so I had a really direct connection. And she was all, my son went to Timberline, and there was a lot of questions. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of things that you have to be aware of. And I work here, and it got a little overwhelming sometimes. So Stephanie was phenomenal as far as getting information together, but then orientation was a great way to get him excited about school. Discover Boise State was a great program, and then we came to Bronco Day, and he was very involved with that, and I loved that. And so those are the things that really got him excited about the transition going into his freshman year.
You mentioned one of my mom's favorite parts. I remember her talking about orientation, because there's actually a family orientation track that you can do. So for parents out there that have incoming Broncos, there is an orientation opportunity for you to attend that's really geared towards, as a parent, how can you help your student make that transition to come into Boise State? Donna, next question's for you. What opportunities do you feel like there's been for you to stay connected as, you know, to Boise State as your student was, you know, at Boise State and in their college experience? How did you feel connected to the Bronco community?
My student was a transfer student. She started out of state, like a lot of kids. They want to have that out of state experience, and then wondered why, and she came back to Boise State. Yay! I'm very connected to BSU through my job as a college and career counselor. But also my husband and I are huge football fans, and if we are not in Bronco Stadium watching a game and high-fiving Buster, which anyway, that's another story. We're out in our local community watching the game somewhere with friends. So football season's the best. It's super fun to be in Boise and be involved with all of that, and we really enjoy that time.
I do have to mention, I've heard a couple people tell me you are the queen of Boise State, especially at Timberline High School. I've heard that multiple times, so we got to give a shout out to that for sure. Last question for the both of you is, if you can think back to when you're, you know, getting ready for a student to start at Boise State and making that, you know, jump to college, what's one piece of advice you would give another parent who's about to embark on that journey, especially because there's some nerves there, but there's also excitement to see your student thrive, and especially at Boise State. So what's that advice that you would give a parent in your shoes, you know, however many years ago? So Donna, if you want to start.
I would say let your student take the lead, and as a college and career counselor in a high school, it's the advice I give to high school parents anyhow. Harder to take yourself when it's your own child, but letting them take the lead, but being there to guide and support is kind of your job. You can't be there with them 24/7. You can't make every decision for them, nor should you. But so let them take it, let them learn to advocate for themselves, let them get involved, push them to go and ask questions and find the resources that they need to. They'll be totally successful here at Boise State because it's a super supportive school community.
Absolutely. Alex, what about you?
Great question, and absolutely 100% agree with that. I also feel like encouraging them and supporting them no matter what they do, and even if a decision is going to be made that you go, ugh, let them make that decision. And maybe it's successful, and maybe it isn't, but they've learned something. And I think those are the things, is just being there. You know, my first son called me like every day when he went to school. Nick and I, you know, probably once a week we chat or we go to lunch. And those are the things that it just depends on who they are and what they need. And just to really be there, listen, and just encourage. Oh, and a selfish push, have them go to the Career Center, Career Services, because, you know,
I would agree with
we're there to help them.
You reminded me of a phone call I had with my mom after the first week of, I'd moved in at Boise State. It had been about a week. I was, you know, going to some events, and I had missed a couple phone calls from my mom in one day, and you know, that dreaded feeling when you miss a phone call from your mom. You're like, oh gosh. And I remember finally calling her back, and she's like, Sydney, I'm worried about you. You're missing my calls. And I said, Mom, I'm making friends. I have these events to go to. I'm busy. I'm having fun. And I remember her telling me, like, that was the best phone call I ever got, because I knew that you were okay, you were safe, you were building community, and you were really loving your Boise State experience. So I can totally attest to that as well. Well, thank you both so much for joining us for Bronco Day 2021. And as always, go Broncos. And back to you, Emma.
Thank you two so much for sharing your perspectives. I know a lot of the parents and family members watching right now really appreciate it. I just wanted to take a quick moment to shout out my parents. As Boise State alumni themselves, I know you're watching. I just want to say thank you for all your support and encouragement. I would not be here today without your motivation. I love you guys. Ben, want to fill us in on what's next?
Oh, for sure, Emma. Can you believe we're almost to the end of Bronco Day 2021? Only 15 minutes left for anyone out there who's counting besides our production team, but that means it's time for our third and final Choose Your Own Adventure tour spot.
That's right. Let's
You guys
check
ready?
in with Jenna and Ryan to see what our next options are.
Thanks, Ben. Okay, get ready to vote for our last tour stop of the day. You can choose between the Micron Center for Materials Research or the Student Recreation Center. Tough choice, Ryan. What do you think it's going to be?
I honestly have no clue, Jenna. The Micron Center for Materials Research building is one of the more popular buildings here on campus, but everyone just always goes to the rec center, so I honestly wouldn't be surprised with either one.
Me either. What do you think, 50-50 split?
I think you might be right. Guess we'll have to find out after another shameless promo.
My name is Julianne Maury. I'm from Bruno, Idaho. I'm studying elementary education with a math endorsement, and this is my senior year.
I'm Claire Oberg. I'm from Twin Falls, Idaho. I'm also a senior graduating this May, and I'm studying elementary ed and special ed with a minor in American Sign Language.
And my name is AJ Zenkert. I'm a professor in the College of Education, and I work closely with Claire and Julianne. How's it been for you working with professors the past few semesters when I haven't really been with you as much? You've been with other folks.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is the professors taking the time to give us all the space in that class time to just talk about how our placements are going, to talk about what's going on in our lives, and really taking that time to do more than just, how's everyone doing? Are you doing good? Is everyone doing okay? But really taking that time to let us talk. They are honest with us about, man, it's really hard to do all of this. And so just having that open communication to really build that community. I mean, it is hard, it's different, but it's still just taking that time.
Yeah, something that's been important to me is just like reaching out, even if it's initially just like, hey, I saw you're missing this assignment. How are you doing? Can I help you get it done? Because I've been in that position. And so then just seeing that someone cares and like is taking the time to reach out is super important.
Yeah, and from my side, it's interesting. It's been the initiative. So early on with you all and with the folks who came before you, but it's still about initiative. And then I'm doing the reaching out, and it's who responds, and it's hard to get students to respond sometimes. So, like as I give advice to the incoming freshmen and folks coming up, it's like, you got respond. Like I'm not even looking for the type of initiative. You all have a ton of it, but respond, right? During this time, be responsive. We'll lift you up, and there'll be folks, seniors and juniors and sophomores, who I think, because you all have done it, who will lift folks up too. But got to be responsive, got to be assertive. That's what I see from my side.
Awesome! The rec center.
I don't know about you, but I don't know if you can tell either, but the rec's easily my favorite building. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. Okay, whatever that was. Hannah, what does the rec have to offer students?
The rec has so much to offer. We have 3 full-size basketball courts where you can play intramural and pickup games, one of the largest indoor rock climbing walls in the PNW collegiate area, a large indoor pool for student use, and an indoor track, and so much more.
That's so cool.
Well, that's our last tour stop. We really hope you enjoyed your time here on campus with us. I even learned stuff that I had no idea about. What about you, Jenna?
You know, seriously, it was so much fun. Thank you so much to Hannah for touring with us, and thank you guys for watching us go around campus. Now let's fit in one more break while we head back to the studio. Let's go, Broncos!
Yeah, I think so.
I'm Liz Fuller. I'm in the Honors College, and I'm double majoring in political science and criminal justice.
I'm Shelton Woods. I serve as the Associate Dean of the Honors College and Professor of East and Southeast Asian History.
To me, coming from Montana, 1,000 kids in the Honors College is my entire high school. So everyone always said, oh, it's a smaller community. I wasn't really sure what that meant. But then once I joined, I met all of my friends there, and it gave me a lot of what I see as being lifelong friendships.
Sure, I think that people have the idea that the honor students are some people that never have any fun. They're studying all the time, and they're just after a 4.0 GPA. But I think that the greatest characteristic of an honor student is that they want to make a difference in the world, that they are ambitious, but they're also humble. And so those are the type of students we're looking for. We look at different things, you know, we look at a GPA and perhaps a test score, but what we look at the most is a resume. Has life not been about just you so far? Do you want to make a difference? And it's just fun working with students who want to change the world and who are very motivated to do that.
Hi, I'm Hannah Spiro. I'm a senior in the Department of Geosciences, where I'm majoring in geosciences with an emphasis in hydrology. I also have a minor in accessibility studies, and I'm originally from Boise, Idaho. I chose Boise State University as a transfer student, so I transferred in as a junior in spring of 2018 after shattering my foot playing college softball at a different university. The College of Arts and Sciences and the Department of Geosciences specifically had many research opportunities where I was interested. You could study abroad in Chile and research volcanoes, or you could study in Yellowstone and research geothermal aquifers. But here I've been researching soils along with dam failures and wildfires. So I think the undergraduate research is really what appealed to me here at Boise State. My most exciting opportunity that I've had so far is to work with Dr. Donna Calhoun in the Department of Mathematics to conduct my thesis research, which is interdisciplinary across computer sciences to civil engineering to the Department of Geosciences. And through this research, I've had the opportunity to present at many conferences, and right now I'm completing my senior thesis and I will be defending in the spring. Some advice I would give to prospective students who are looking at Boise State University and the College of Arts and Sciences would be to connect with your professors, especially if it's a topic you're excited about. I just want to say thank you to the Department of Mathematics and Department of Geosciences for all the opportunities, specifically Dr. Donna Calhoun and Dr. Jim McNamara, and also to the College of Arts and Sciences for taking chances on students like me and providing all these opportunities for success. Go Broncos!
Wow, what an exciting way to wrap up an incredible day. Thank you to Jenna and Ryan for running around campus for us today.
Agreed, Emma. Thank you both. Now, I think we should show you a look behind the scenes around here. What do y'all think? Oh, look at this.
This was all made possible by the incredible university television crew, event services, Boise State admissions, and so many members of our Boise State community.
Well, that just about wraps it up for Bronco Day 2021. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us.
And it's been such a fun event. It's an honor to hang out with all of you.
We cannot wait for you to have your own Boise State University experience.
And we'll see you next year. As always, go Broncos!
Hey! Woo! We totally killed that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we should be having people lining up.
I should probably check my phone, see how many offers I have coming in already.
Phone. I mean, there should be people lining up waiting to chat us up. I mean, it's not what we just pulled off, right?
Yeah, I wonder if anybody's waiting out there for our autograph.
It won't be the first time, huh? I'll go this way.
Didn't someone think you were Jason Sudeikis once?
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.